Money, you can have money, but you know that sense of fulfillment wouldn't be there. But when you work hard at a vision that you wanted to come to fruition, at the end of the day, when you get there, you feel that yes, I've really gotten there, and you feel that sense of satisfaction. It doesn't mean, or it doesn't matter if you are the sweeper or what have you. All that it takes is set a vision, get there. When you get that sense of fulfillment, then you've achieved success.
If you want to go to a good school, that costs money, a lot of money. And there's this thing about most times the teachers in probably primary and public schools and private schools, the way they teach, the caliber of lecturers they have differ. If you're in a public school, the attitude of the lecturers are different from that of the lecturers from a private school. Like, in other words, in a private school, because they get to be paid well and they really assess them, the kind of professors they have are radically different from the ones we get from the public school, because probably it's a government thing, so they get to run it anyhow.
When you are in school and you are not able to pay your fees, your parents do not have money to pay your fees, trust me, you will not be able to make it in school. And even with money...
What about a scholarship student?
Come again.
A scholarship student, like, for example, one of you might become a scholarship student. So you're focusing on it, the two of you are focusing on education.
Okay, when you have scholarship at hand and you still are going to school, you still need money to be able to do certain things on your own.
You don't need money to get your books read. You don't need money to do your assignments. That's the aspect I said, to a large aspect. That means the side I'm living is your own hard work.
Money in itself does not give success. It's actually the hard work. Because somebody can have money, but at the end of the day, you wouldn't achieve anything.
If somebody disagree with you and say money and hard work, there's somebody who have done all. Got money, still work very hard, but still not successful.
Yes, I think opportunity too comes in.
Somebody to work very hard, they will not have.
The problem, as far as education is concerned, is not that we've not done all the think tank. We've done so. However, we need implementation. And implementation will come as far as leadership is concerned. Leadership, you're looking at a leader who assess where we are as far as the educational calendar is concerned now, where we want to be, and then we'll implement policies, put in place measures that will help us get there.
In order to boost these facilities in our rural areas, we must be community-based in terms of how education is all about, in terms of the facilities. We just can't have a centralized sort of education system in terms of how to bring up
can I catch you there? Did you say aside implementation? I think you made quite a valid point. Are you saying implementation is what you talked about?
No, he didn't only talk about implementation.
But you cut in by starting saying the aside implementation.
Yeah, aside the implementation.
What do you mean by that?
Because even if there is an implementation from the central body, and the whole aspect of the facility development is not community-based, that is a sense of belonging for the schools. I'm not sure we are going to have, because we have some schools that are there, that you have migrants from the same community going into such schools, defecating in the schools, taking the chairs for firewood and the rest. All these things contribute to the degrading of these facilities.
The leaders at the district level are not willing to implement the central government's policy.
I agree with you.
Then that problem will not be
I
there.
agree with the implementation, because we also need to monitor, not just implementing. When you implement, you also need to monitor. You make sure that the heads, the district heads, all those people in the rural areas, when they come to the city, they know what's going on. So those in the cities and in the regional capitals, should also try as much to go back to the rural areas and then monitor and make sure.
Guys, I'm getting confused here. You don't need to help me out. Now you're talking about implementation. What's implementation, and then you move on to another level, saying that apart from implementation, we need to. I'm not confused.
And there should be a policy plan that will look at the financial aspect of providing the facilities.
I think euthanasia should remain illegal in Ghana, but there should be certain circumstances under which it can be allowed.
Practically speaking, right now, my 84-year-old grandmother is very sick in bed at the hospital right now, and she really wants to die. She always asks that we pray for her that she dies, but nobody can really take the life because of the legality surrounding that matter. So if it's made legal and family members consent to it, then I don't have a problem with it. At least for the sake of my grandma right now.
Okay.
I also think that in this life, many things that are encoded in something and are not touched when further situations arise are not supposed to be so. There's a law, all right, against euthanasia. I like the fact that it's illegal, all right. But there should also be a point where we can look at a particular situation and then judge what to do at that particular point in time.
In your grandmother's case, your grandmother is 84, and the good book says we have 210. So she's past 70. She's past her productive years, and if it's her wish, I think it should be so. But if, let's say, you have a 14-year-old who, by some strange design, has some strange disease of some sort, and the person is praying to die, I think maybe you should, in such a case, it shouldn't be.
It would be the prerogative of the family, the consent of the family, because we assume that that sick person might not be in the position to make that decision. So the prerogative of the family.
That's not completely true.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because the individual has the final say.
Because for family, we have like emotions. We have emotions.
Exactly.
If I'm sure you really love your grandmother.
The individual, let's assume the individual is in coma. The individual is costing the family $10,000 every day to survive.
Okay, so that can be an exemption.